the vitamin D test that most do not get. It's normally not part of the standard blood work. If you're 40 or more than likely you have never thought to have this checked. Maybe because you've never heard it was important for your brain or your sleep. And you thought it's just for the bones. There's a new study conducted by Framingham Heart Study. They studied 793 people and tracked them for 16 years. They measured their vitamin D levels in their late 30s and they scanned their brain 16 years later. They discovered that their vitamin D levels were higher in midlife. They had a lower buildup of tau, a protein that is connected to Alzheimer's, about the same range as yours. You might be thinking, here's another study, headline, and here we go again. But wait, here's the honest version. The truth is, this study did not find everything. Alzheimer's research generally looks at two proteins, not just one. Tau is the one this study actually found a connection to. Amyloids is the other one, the one you probably heard of if you've heard of Alzheimer's research at all. Plaque. That's usually the word attached to it. This study found nothing there, no connection either way, and it can't prove vitamin D was the cause of the tau difference either, only that the two move together. This is why it's worth your time. Not because it's a new discovery, but an honest one. There's one more detail in this study most people miss entirely. It's coming up. I've been a nurse for 14 years in the ICU and ER. This is new territory for me. This is the first time bringing brain health to this channel. Real reason I'm covering this, Alzheimer's run on my father's side of the family. And that's exactly why I wanted to understand what's actually happening in the brain, not just repeat headline. Here's the real problem. The standard lab panel does not include vitamin D unless you specifically ask for it. If it is ordered, the cutoff lab is 20 nanograms. It's used to determine bone disease, not for brain health. Two different questions. One panel only answers one of them. I learned this the hard way. I had worked night shift for most of my adult life, and that's how my body clocks work. Then I had to suddenly move to day shift schedule, and everything was a mess. My sleep was off. I would find myself awake, struggling to sleep even at 2 to 3 a.m. before I'm able to fall asleep. Trying to stay awake during the day was a constant battle. I experienced brain fog, irritability, at times lightheaded, forgetful, the kind where you walk into a room trying to remember why you're there. Does that sound familiar? I didn't fix it overnight. I gradually shifted my wake up time and my sleep time a little at a time, not all at once. Every morning, 5 to 10 minutes after I wake up, I go outside. I would take a glass of water with a bit of mineral salt before I went straight into the sunlight. Slowly, my sleep improved. My quality of sleep became better, not just more hours. And it turned out that it's not just my experience. There's real research that backed it up, that people with healthy vitamin D levels slept measurably better, and I settled into a normal rhythm again. Here's what I didn't understand back then that I understand now as a nurse. Two completely different systems were resetting my body clock and starting my vitamin D at the same time in the same walk outside. My eyes were talking to my brain's clock. My skin was producing vitamin D, a slower process completely separate from what was happening with my eyes. I was fixing both without realizing that both existed separately. The morning sunlight does two separate things at the same time. It resets your brain's clock through your eyes, and at the same time, your skin produces vitamin D. These are two systems working while you're on your walk outside. So, if you've done the get some morning sun thing and something's still off, still couldn't sleep right, it's worth asking which system actually got what it needed. Same walk, same length. One system can work completely while the other misses entirely, and duration was never the issue. Sunscreen is the clearest example. It doesn't stop your eyes from setting your clock, but it does stop your skin from producing vitamin D. Same walk. One system worked, one didn't. It also gives you a real number instead of just guessing. Standing outside in the sun doesn't tell you anything by itself because vitamin D isn't usually part of the standard panel. Most people assume the sun has given them enough. Skin tone, however far north you live, the season, even the amount of sunscreen all affect how your skin actually produces. And it's not something you can gauge through feeling alone. The only way to know for sure is the test itself. The habit is the effort. The number tells you the effort worked. Did you know why the morning walk is a good, healthy habit to do? Let me tell you why. It resets your body clock to function properly, and your skin produces the necessary vitamin D. Two systems in play at the same time to get you going. Here's another piece worth knowing. People with lower vitamin D also tend to show more signs of depression. The research didn't agree on whether raising your level actually helps. The largest trial ever run on this found no real difference. This isn't a replacement or treatment. If you're already dealing with depression, that conversation still belongs with your doctor, not a vitamin. But if nobody's ever mentioned this number as part of that picture, that's still worth knowing. The study measured vitamin D in their late 30s, the same place a lot of you are standing right now. It's important to know your actual vitamin D number because many people in this day and age have low vitamin D without knowing it. One large study alone found close to 1 in 5 middle aged and older adult deficient. And that's not even counting the people just above the line, still running low, just not low enough to get flagged. This is true even when a doctor or nurse calls it fine. Understanding the difference between the fine number of 20 nanograms and the 40 to 60 nanogram range, some research considers more protective. The biggest trial haven't settled the number yet, but even that disagreement tells you something. 20 was never meant to be the whole answer. Imagine walking into your next appointment prepared with the actual question, knowing what your vitamin D number should be, and ask for it by name, not just accepting whatever the last panel said. Free guide: 6 biomarkers your standard lab miss. Vitamin D's functional range is in there. Imagine this: you walk into your next appointment already knowing your number, not finding out years from now it was low and the whole time. This is education, not medical advice. My goal is simple: I want you to walk into your next appointment more informed, more prepared, and asking better questions. You deserve answers, not just reassurance. Link in the description below.